Most people throw kitchen waste away thinking it's useless. That's one of the biggest mistakes in gardening. The truth is, the same scraps people discard every day can rebuild dead soil faster than most store-bought fertilizers. But only if you understand how decomposition actually works in real soil systems. If you get it wrong, you attract pests, create sour soil, and slow plant growth instead of improving it. I learned this after reviving a raised bed that had completely collapsed after a bad season of over-fertilizing and inconsistent watering. The soil had turned compact, lifeless, and almost hydrophobic. That's when I started using kitchen waste properly instead of just dumping it randomly. I also began tracking soil conditions more seriously using the YAMRON 4-in-1 soil moisture meter. It helps me check moisture, pH, temperature, and light so I don't accidentally turn composting into a failure cycle. I'll leave the exact one I use in the description if you want to check it out. Because most people don't realize their soil improvement efforts are actually failing due to poor balance they can't see. Now here's the part most gardeners misunderstand. Kitchen waste doesn't become soil immediately. It becomes a controlled biological process. If you just bury scraps randomly, you create uneven decomposition. That leads to nitrogen loss, bad smell, and sometimes fungal problems. But when you manage it correctly, even in a small backyard setup, the transformation is fast enough that you start seeing soil texture changes within days, not weeks. The method I use is simple but very intentional. Instead of dumping mixed waste together, I separate high nitrogen materials like vegetable peels and fruit scraps from high carbon materials like dry leaves or shredded cardboard. The ratio matters more than people think. I usually aim for roughly 2 parts green waste to 1 part dry material. That balance keeps microbial activity active without overheating the pile or turning it anaerobic. Within 48 to 72 hours, you can already feel temperature changes in a properly working pile. That heat is not random. It's microbial digestion in action. This is where most beginners go wrong. They assume composting is slow because they never actually create the right conditions for microbes to work efficiently. And here's something I'll be honest about. Most quick compost hacks online are misleading. If you don't manage moisture and oxygen, you're just rotting waste, not building soil. Moisture control is critical here. The pile should feel like a wrung-out sponge. Too dry and decomposition stalls. Too wet and you suffocate beneficial microbes. This is exactly why checking soil and compost conditions with a meter like the YAMRON 4-in-1 makes a real difference. You stop guessing and start correcting conditions early, before the entire system collapses. Again, I'll leave the exact one I use in the description if you want to check it out. Now let's talk about the part that actually transforms dead soil into what people call black gold. It's not just decomposition. It's microbial rebuilding. When kitchen waste breaks down correctly, it feeds bacteria and fungi that rebuild soil structure. These organisms create natural binding that improves water retention and aeration at the same time. That's why properly composted soil feels darker, softer, and more alive. In one of my raised beds, I mixed partially decomposed kitchen waste compost into the top 15 centimeters of soil. Within a week, moisture retention improved noticeably. Plants that were previously struggling to hold turgor pressure started responding better to watering cycles. But here's the key detail most people miss. You don't apply fresh kitchen waste directly to growing beds unless it is fully controlled or pre-composted. If you do, nitrogen gets locked up during decomposition, and your plants temporarily starve even though the soil looks rich. Instead, you either pre-compost it or use it in layered systems where decomposition happens below active root zones. And this is where understanding soil biology becomes more important than any fertilizer you buy. Healthy soil is not just dirt with nutrients. It is a living system that regulates its own fertility when conditions are stable. Kitchen waste becomes powerful only when you respect that system. In hydroponic adjacent setups, I've even used compost tea extracted from well-decomposed kitchen waste to improve microbial activity in container soils. The results are subtle but consistent: stronger root development, more stable moisture response, and reduced transplant shock. The biggest shift happens when you stop treating soil like a medium and start treating it like an ecosystem. Once that mindset changes, you begin to notice things most gardeners ignore. Why one bed drains too fast? Why another stays wet too long? Why some plants suddenly yellow even when fertilized? All of those are soil system signals, not plant problems. Kitchen waste is simply the tool that helps reset that system. After about 7 days of active decomposition under the right conditions, you start seeing darker, more crumbly organic matter forming. That's the beginning of humus development. It's not finished compost yet, but it's already improving soil structure and microbial life. And if you maintain this cycle consistently, your soil stops deteriorating season after season and starts improving on its own. That's the real goal of organic gardening that actually works in practice, not theory. If you found this useful, consider subscribing to Farmogic because most gardening advice ignores soil biology completely, and that's where most failures start. The more you understand how kitchen waste becomes soil life, the easier it becomes to grow strong, productive plants without constantly relying on expensive inputs. And in real gardening, that understanding is what turns average soil into something genuinely powerful over time.